very favorable for CSU at the moment. Already moving into this the seventh point, technically, for this first round of Rocket League. Lobo going up for an explosive start, but now doesn't quite find the immediate goal. Or Pigskin. Cleve Dog from the Cardinals goes down. That's going to be CSU taking control. Lobo firing it into the center range. It's right in front of their own goal. Another destruction. CSU in a very advantageous position.
CSU has the advantage, but they are getting up. Yep, they are going to get the ball back onto the blue side.
I feel like for a second there, Rock and Orb were having the most intense duel.
Unfortunately, just the shot was just a little too high.
CSU fighting hard to keep it in the center. I think the Cardinals are trying to push it in. However, it is real close to CSU's goal, but they do have control of the ball. Having to play a little bit more defense, a little bit scary, but that's going to be Lobo passing it to Cipricate, pushes it forward into the Cardinal space. Cardinals try and push it back, take it back to neutral ground, but CSU is refusing to play on the defensive. They do not want to have to interact with this side of the game.
Unfortunately, there is going to be a shot blocked, and it's going over to OUC.
Cleve Dog in the correct position to prevent it from going in. However, CSU gets a lot of their momentum back. A lot of these interactions are favoring CSU, just from the fact of the longer that this goes on, the more the CSU has an advantage. Cardinals are down 2 points and need to be able to make it, and as much as you can make very quick goals in this game, you really do not want to have to burn down the clock and rely on that kind of X factor.
You want to get the boost in order to get to the ball and get it in, but unfortunately, it looks like CSU couldn't quite make it. Lobo going control,
bit of interaction. Lobo chasing along, just everybody here trying to take control of it, hold themselves in angles that are advantageous. Lobo takes control of it, pushes it over into the Cardinal space. It's off angle, picks it up through the orb, and then Cipricate just barely out of range, not going to be able to follow up.
Lobo taking the ball back.
Stuck in center space, but they are going to take it into the air. This could be major.
Getting the juggle. Unfortunately, gets bounced back. But sad face.
CSU in a very good position. Also, that sad face is Cipricate, even though it's hard to read. Very slow interaction, which is not favored for the Cardinals. They're going to push it back over into CSU space. 15 seconds on the clock. They need to make a goal here and now, or it's kind of curtains.
CSU just needs to play some hard defense, keep the ball away from them, get it back on their side, and give them a chance to score.
10 seconds on the clock. 3. This round is about to end, but it doesn't end until it hits the ground.
CSU still going for the point.
Stop! They're already dead, and CSU takes the first round. Very okay, Cipricate.
And he just off the screen. Okay.
He's gone. His planet needs him. Into the second round, felt like CSU was definitely playing the dominant force. From what I could tell from the score before we got in, it was a little bit more even. However, CSU, I feel like CSU in general are always teams that have a very capable, they're very good at adaptation.
The Cardinals are constantly on defense, not being able to get many points.
Which is a really painful thing, especially with like how this game tends to function from what I've seen. Admittedly, I'm not the most experienced Rocket League player, but there is a lot of value in just being able to be in advantage and stall out the clock. You put the burden of winning on your opponent in a way that I don't think is usually possible. Or actually, tends to be possible in a lot of things. You gain the attritional advantage, where you are able to play a sort of war of attrition game. Now, granted, I said attrition twice in that sentence, but you get the point.
Yeah. Rocket League can snowball pretty quickly, depending on how each of the players do.
Absolutely, although I don't even know if it's just the snowballing. It's an aspect of, like, when you're in advantage, preventing the snowballing is just as valuable as continuing to snowball. If you just keep the game in a standstill, like, it's timed. It's 5 minutes flat. Yep. If you are able to, like, stall out the clock in advantage, you effectively have won the game.
CSU did win. CSU did win the initial 50-50, and it is going back onto the Cardinals side. And almost an early goal.
Olds from the Cardinals gets taken out. Cipricate takes control of the ball, but it gets hit over by Old. Back from the dead and ready for revenge. Lobo tries to hit it back over to Cipricate. Let's see if something can happen. Bounces it off the wall. Back to Orb, or to Orb, correction. I thought that was Lobo for a second, but that name is way too long. Lobo deep in enemy territory as CSU.
Ooh, unfortunately, the Cardinals was able to get a point.
Cardinals find the first goal, although granted, I think that CSU can still definitely pull this back. They just might have to find their opening. It really felt like in the previous round, CSU was really able to play a very, very defensive game, even on their own offense. The best offense is a best defense.
There's going to be a demo. And that's an early goal.
Finds the way to even it up. Abuses the fact that they only have 2 players to find that opening. That's going to be Cipricate directly into Lobo for the follow-up, getting the goal, putting this game to 1-1.
So he chooses to give up the 50-50 and goes for the demo.
Gets the demo, which gives them control of the ball later on, which is definitely advantageous, especially when you do the same thing twice. Lobo taking the hit off of Cipricate once more and finishing out. Actually, I think all 3 players were in that one.
Yeah, if it works once, it'll probably work again. Let's see if it works a third time.
The technique's so nice, you do it twice.
It did look like they did try going for it, but they were expecting it this time, so they were able to avoid the demo. Ooh, unfortunately, that's going to be a shot onto CSU's goal.
That's the thing about Rocket League, from what I can tell. Like, these goals can happen so very, very quickly. If you're not ready for something like that, or just slightly not in the right position, these really can turn into just out of nowhere.
A little less than 4 minutes left. 50-50 goes in favor of the Cardinals.
In favor of the Cardinals, but CSU avoids that early goal. That's really what you want to see. Lobo tries to pass it over to Cipricate. Cipricate has control of the ball. That's going to be Orb with the third-party follow-up. I feel like Cardinals might have been expecting it to Lobo because Lobo had been the final pass for the previous 2 shots. However, CSU finds their opening and brings us to 2-3. I think CSU's goal right now is... CSU forces it into enemy territory, however, not quite able to find a goal. It's going to be Lobo taking control of the ball, trying to keep it away from the enemy team. If they're able to just kind of control this ball for a little bit of time, they're in a decent amount of advantage. Granted, they only have a singular point to their name when it comes to advantage, but if they can just keep this rolling, keep control, maybe find a demo into a goal, widen that lead a little bit, I think CSU is in a very commanding position.
Orbit going for the attempted juggle.
Orb and Lobo deep in enemy territory, trying to find it. Going to be, I think that was Rock getting the save. Cardinals do not want CSU to have control of the ball here. Rock trying to chase it down, take control of it, but Cipricate is right there to prevent it. It means like everybody and their mother is in this goal area right now, but CSU is going to take control of it again.
He's going to go back over to the Cardinals side, but unfortunately they are going to be able to get it back. Oh, never mind. Or taking it right back.
Rock tries to take control, but is prevented from it by Orb, as you were talking about. CSU has it real close. They're taking control. Once again, Rock just playing that defensive game. CSU trying to find their opening.
Lobo bringing it back over to the Cardinals. Unfortunately, Rock is going to steal it. And they're going straight for the goal, but they are going to get interrupted.
Orb puts the ball back out of control, but Olds is right there. Even this into a 3-3, 2 minutes on the clock. Feels like CSU is going to need to win the 50-50, or they might be in a little bit of a scary position.
1 minute, 56 seconds left.
2 minutes on the clock, and we see the kickoff 50-50. CSU gets pushed into their territory, but Orb is there to prevent it from going in. Cipricate and Orb in the middle of enemy territory trying to find the goal. It's going to be, I think that was Olds getting the hit back, but it's still in the Cardinals area.
Or taking the ball.
Takes control. Real slow, real near, but it's not quite going to be able to find it. Cipricate trying to take control. Lobo chasing it down.
Lobo going for the juggle. Unfortunately, it's going to get stolen from him.
Cleve Dog taking control of the ball. However, CSU is not done fighting. It's 3-3. 30 seconds or 40 seconds are off the clock. CSU needs to be able to find something. Might have taken a couple of demos. Ugh. Never mind, that Lobo prevents the hit.
Oop, that's going to be a demo for CSU. They have the advantage right now. 1 minute left.
It's 3-3. I thought that was Cipricate getting blown up. Lunch interaction, scary position.
Ooh, just barely missing.
Orb takes control of the ball again. This is super scary for both teams. Anybody who finds a goal here is probably in the position to win the match. 30 seconds are on the clock. It's now or never for both teams, but they have to bring their A game. 3-3 scary position. The next goal, unless someone finds something in very, very soon, is probably going to define the match.
Both teams trying to be the one.
Great bounces it off the wall. CSU is going to be there to follow up. So are the Cardinals to prevent it from going in. Lobo tries to take control of it. Brings it over to the goal, but it's just a little bit too high. Cipricate is there as well. Tries
still
to find
in the air.
Goal.
Still in the air. It's still live. Live ball still.
I think it's all still live because it's 3-3.
It's live because it's in the air.
Okay, no, never mind. Overtime's a separate round. I forgot.
Yeah, it was live because it was in the air still.
Fair enough. They find the 50-50. However, Lobo's going to be there for defensive purposes, takes control of the ball, leaves it over to Cipricate. Cipricate not quite in a position to take it, but Lobo's still controlling it. The Orb is right there, not quite going to be able to find the goal that would end the match. Orb still trying to control the ball, corralling it a little bit here. He's just surrounded by Cardinals like they're sharks in the water.
Unfortunately, it's back on CSU's side.
Lobo has control of it, avoids the Cardinals. I couldn't quite see who that was. Cipricate is in position, but Cleve Dog prevents Orb and Cipricate from following up. CSU trying to force it into their area. In 40 seconds so far, Cipricate hits a hit. Lobo tries to find it, but that's going to be the Cardinals preventing it from going in, or preventing a little bit more follow-up. That's a huge, huge, scary shot from the Cardinals, but let's go to Lobo in position to follow it up.
Unfortunately, Old is going to put it right back.
Just a bunch of interaction. Each one of these are so weighty. It's going to be Cipricate taking control of it. Hits it over. Lobo slows it down. Tries to find something, but there's everybody in the kitchen sink on the side of the Cardinals. Orb hits it back. Rock is trying to follow up alongside Cleve Dog. However, Cipricate's also in the range. Cipricate gets the hit, and that's going to be the goal, and that's going to be Cipricate taking it for CSU. Extremely, extremely strong play. Good positioning. Incredibly tense. But CSU is able to take the second round. I'm not sure if this is best of 3 or first to 3, but we will see in the next possible round.
First to 3, so we got one more round of CSU wins.
2 more.
2 more is
best of 7.
Oh.
First and fourth.
Oh. I thought it was best of 3 because there's only 3 things. Okay, apparently it's best of 7.
Alrighty. Alrighty, moving into the third round for CSU versus the Cardinals. Getting Logo going for an early shot, but not quite able to find it. That is a early demo, but I think that might be in CSU's favor.
It was. Unfortunately, though, the ball isn't.
Just barely avoiding a goal there. Scary for CSU. Takes control of the ball. Lobo trying to push it. It's going to be a very That was scary. That was just frankly scary for most.
That was very close. If it was only if they were a second faster, they would have got the save, but they weren't.
Second faster, but also I'm thinking about that, like the goal that was just right on the rim and could not go in.
CSU wins it 50-50. Oh, but the
Takes control of the ball, forces it into the area. Orb for the save.
The field was almost empty. A little too high.
Scary situation.
Ooh, but that bounce. Ooh.
As much as this is scary for CSU, if they can just keep playing this kind of defensive attrition game, they are an advantage at the very least. Cleve Dog goes down, CSU has the advantage. Super close. Olds 69 trying to find it, but CSU is there to prevent it from being in a terrible position for too long.
The ball just barely misses.
Oh my goodness! 2 times this match that it has felt like the Cardinals were just about to get a goal, but were just not in the right position with the ball.
Unfortunately, Rock just barely misses, isn't able to keep carrying it. Cleve Dog is there to make up for it, but Orb quickly reflects it back.
Nerves might be affecting the Cardinals here. CSU taking control of the ball. Cleve Dog tries to take a little bit of momentum away from CSU, but I think they're still there and able to keep it rolling. Reciprocate into the middle of everything, doesn't quite find a goal, but that's gonna be Orb coming in.
Orb coming in for the last second assist.
They were all focused on Reciprocate, and then Orb came in and dunked it in.
CSU gives up to 50 up. Okay. They definitely had a plan. Unfortunately, it didn't work out though.
That's the thing of Rocket League. These goals can happen so quickly if it's not contested. Lobo just barely not fast enough to be able to get in and stop it.
Let's see if they give up the 50-50 this time. They don't. They go for it, but they do lose it.
They lose it, but then immediately gain it back. Orb taking control alongside Reciprocate.
Orb's knocking it over to CSU's court.
Lobo pushing it over to Reciprocate. Reciprocate bounces it back to Lobo alongside Orb. Orb is everybody here trying to make a difference. 2 minutes 36 on the clock.
That's going to be a demo onto Old. CSU has the temporary advantage.
In the Cardinal space, Lobo is chasing down the ball, but Rock is just right in the right position to stop it.
They just keep passing the ball back and forth. Unfortunately, it's going to go over to Cleve Dog now, though.
Cleve Dog in control of the ball. I think that is Reciprocate in position to take control of it. CSU all together taking control of the ball. It's going to be in the air. Orb tries to hit it back into the Cardinal space. They are going to take control of the ball. However, Reciprocate's going to be there to prevent it. Hits the ceiling.
Lobo keeping it in the middle. Ooh, but that unfortunately missed. Cleve Dog in the air, gonna pass it right to Orb.
Orb in a good position to prevent it from going in. CSU takes control of the ball, tries to go for a long shot, just barely not at the right angle.
Old's taking the ball to the goal.
Olds tries to take control of it, but that's going to be Orb just in the right position to take it alongside Reciprocate and Lobo.
Lobo tried to go for a shot.
Cleve Dog just barely keeping it from going in. Lobo in the middle of the air, doesn't quite have the boost to follow up, just gets, ooh. Olds able to keep it from going in.
Coming down to a
minute on the clock with CSU up a singular point.
Lobo taking the ball. Unfortunately, gets stolen.
Reciprocate hits it in the area of the Cardinals. If they can just play like this for another 40 seconds, they've got the game.
Lobo did get demoed, so he did have to respond for it a little bit.
Maybe not ideal, but now that Illibo is back, it's back in a decent position. Orb scarily taking it out of the goal. CSU having to play a little bit defensively here.
CSU on the defense. Are they going to get into overtime like they did last game? It doesn't look like they're trying.
I think their goal right now is to take, is like, even if you're not doing much with it, if you just take control of the ball and play for a little bit of time, you will win the game. 5 seconds on the clock, and Lobo, with the insult to injury, takes another goal.
CSU just needs to win the 50-50, and that's going to be this round.
I mean, even if they lose the 50-50 here, if they can prevent a goal for 4 seconds, they've won.
Yep, they're immediately going for it. Ball's in the air. They're going for another point, actually, but it touches the ground before they can get it.
I mean, don't know. They're dead. They're gone. Was it best of 5?
Was it? They left. Was that just an issue, or?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, apparently it was just best of 5. Okay.
Alrighty, congrats to CSU for a very impressive win over the OCU Cardinals. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a Valorant game against the University of Ottawa, the Garnet team, at 9 p.m., so feel free to tune in for that. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been Psychic. Anything you want to say, Micah?
It was a pretty good game, and I can't wait to see how our Valorant team does afterwards, because I won't be streaming it because I have a game. I have an Overwatch game at 9.
Alrighty. Good luck on that one, and thank you all for joining us. We will be back in just a minute.